Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to give an introduction about the indexes. Indexes enables you to perform queries efficiently. They are an important part of an application development and are even required for the certain type of queries to run effectively. Database indexes is similar to the book index. Instead of looking through the whole book, the database takes a shortcut and just look at the order list with a reference to the content. This allows the MongoDB to query the order of the magnitude faster. Let's look into the example for what exactly the index that I'm talking about. For example, let me look into the find db.emp.find. Let's say I want to find the name Sita. And close the parenthesis. And after this, let's use an explain method. An explain method is a convenient way to look into this and see what exactly MongoDB is doing to execute this query. So what we will do is that let's enable the execution stats to true. You set this to true. By just simply enable this which means that we are looking into this, explain the execution stats and hit enter. The moment you do this, and here we get the long list of document which comes up, and what you can see is that we have a query planner, means what exactly the query is about and where exactly we didn't look into this. And what we exactly look into this is that the parser query is we are looking into some kind of value which is equal to Sita for in the names, in the field name. And if you simply scroll down, there is an execution stats is there. In the execution stats, what I'm interested is the total number of documents examined. Since I'm having the 5 documents with me, even here you can see there are 5 documents or this with me, and in order to execute this query, our MongoDB has to examine the 5 documents, which is really not required. To find out the name Sita, it need to identify all 5 documents. Since the number of documents that was there with me is very small, but you would see some large difference whenever you're dealing with the large data. So in that case, you have to follow some kind of a strategy to reduce the query time. Okay, so in order to do this, one of the quickest way that we can use is creating the index. All I have to do is that I just simply need to create an index for the name. Now, to enable the MongoDB to respond faster and effectively to the questions or queries, all you have to do is that you need to create a query pattern. Query pattern, which means the different types of questions your application asks for the database. In this example, we are asking some username or name of the person Sita. That is an example for a specific query pattern. In many of the applications, a single index would support the query pattern. So let's see how we can actually make this query optimized. Instead of looking into all documents, we should follow some query so that it will look into only specified documents. So the easiest way is that let's create the document. Let's create the index for the field name. In order to create an index, db collection name, and the method that you need to use is create index. Let's see how to do this. Let me clear this. Now let's create an index using db emp, and the method that I need to use to create an index is create index. Now the syntax for this is the following. If you look in the syntax of this, all you need to do is the db collection name and create index and followed by keys. So keys, if you look into the keys, we need to provide the keys is particularly what kind of a field that we are looking into this. And at the same time, we need to specify a value, something like +1 or -1. +1 will indicate creating an index in an ascending order. For descending order index, we should specify the -1. So what we can do is that let me create an index with the key or the field is name, and provide +1, which is creating an index in an ascending order. Now let's hit enter. And this will actually create an index with name. And even here you can expand it and refresh it and see under indexes we have a name is created. So this is the name key that whenever you're searching any information from the name, it will actually use this index. Now let's execute this query. So what we have to do is the db.emp and find, and we want to find the name is Sita and hit enter. And here we go. This is what we got. Of course, we want explain to be execution stats. Now hit enter, and here we go. You can see that in scroll up, and that's what I'm looking for. It the total number of documents which is examined is only 1, since it was indexed by the alphabetical order, and the total number of documents that actually it need to evaluate is simply 1. That's it, right? This is how we can use the index, and you can simplify the query, and this will actually run very effectively whenever you're having the large amount of data. This is how we can create an index and optimize our query performance.